So you want to take better pictures. Kind of like some of these. I took all of these with my cell phone. You don't need a fancy DSLR camera, spending thousands of dollars on lenses and camera bodies. You don't need all that. I've got some really good tips to teach you just how to get some really great shots with just what you already got in your pocket. My name is Jenny. I am a former teacher who's spent 26 years in the classroom. And when people would ask, what do you teach? I'd say, I teach digital art. They'd be like, what? What do you teach? And I say, graphic design, video, photography. And they're like, oh my gosh, I wish I could do that. I wish I could learn and take your class. And it's like, well, I've got some really good tips for you guys now. Now that I have time, I'm not teaching. I have stopped. I am now working full-time, making videos for you guys and for the Car Wizard channel. I am Mrs. Wizard. That's where the name comes from. I am the Car Wizard's wife. But I've got some really good suggestions for you. The first one I have that is going to take your pictures from to wow is look your subject in the eye. It's not that hard. So, the picture on the top, that's my daughter when she was really little, and it's a lazy picture. It really is lazy. Just whip the camera out. It's like taking a Snapchat picture. You don't care what the picture is. That's exactly what is done there. I did this on purpose to show, hey, don't do this. It's a good reference shot. The one on the bottom, bend down. Even if it's your pet frog, you might have to get on the ground. You might have to lay on your stomach to get that. Let me show you how to do this real quick with my cat, Honey. So there's my cat, Honey, in her little hidey spot. She likes to hide under things. And this would be a lazy shot. I'm actually bending a little bit just so we can see her under there, but this is not engaging at all. So we're laying on the floor now. The camera's sitting on the floor, and isn't this much better? Might have to get her attention, might have to, wiggle my finger, snap a little bit. Isn't that much better? All I had to do was get on my knees to take this picture, get down smaller. Sometimes you have to get taller too. Sometimes if you're taking a really tall subject, you might have to raise it up, raise your hand up in there, but it's so easy. Now, I'm not going to worry about that cord you saw in the background. In the future, I'm going to show you how to do Photoshop. And Photoshop is really, really easy if you know some tips and tricks. And again, we're not there yet. Let's get through some lessons on how to take good pictures, and then I'll show you how to do some Photoshopping. Next thing is watch what's in the background. Sometimes, so many times we're just focused on what we're taking a picture of, we forget there's all sorts of crap in the background. So pay attention to what's going on back there. In the picture here, she's just sitting by a fireplace, which is great when she's a toddler and she's running all over the place. It's Halloween and oh my God, she's gonna go get candy. Okay, she's 3. Sit down. Okay, no. I said, hey, move over. Can you take a picture over here by the wall? It doesn't have to be a boring background, but just watch that you don't got crap growing around their heads. Okay, and really, I don't have to illustrate that one. You guys know how to do that. Is use an outdoor flash. This sounds kind of weird because you're like, but it's bright outside. Well, but your camera doesn't know what it's doing. It just thinks it reads the light that's out there and says, hey, it's bright. Well, if the light is on the back of your subject, then it means the front of the subject's in the dark, which means the camera is facing the light. That's a problem. And we need to help the camera figure it out. In this case, make the flash go off. So all you gotta do is just tell it to use the flash. There's some cautions there, we'll get to that in just a second. But you might also use this on a cloudy day as well. So just as simple as turn the flash on, move in close. That's the next one. Now be careful. I'm not saying zoom in close. I'm saying move in close. You do not want to zoom in with a digital camera. And we'll go over that in another lesson. But zooming in, it doesn't give you good quality photos. So if you want to move closer. So in the case of the picture here, we were at an Easter egg hunt. She's getting kind of antsy. She's waiting for her turn to go. And so she's getting silly and she's like, can this fit over my head? And yeah, it actually can. She was successful eventually. But the one shot that's further, that's got the thumbs down, is just kind of being silly. The next one, you can see the mischief in her eyes. And really it's just as simple as taking a step forward and getting a better shot. That doesn't mean we're going back to the days of MySpace. Those of you out there remember MySpace before Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook, where everyone took pictures of just their eye? Yeah, don't do that. That's too close. But take a step forward and kind of see what your subject's doing. The next one is move it from the middle. Now, being in the middle of the stage is great if you're a performer. You're center stage, that's why they say it. But it's not when you're doing photography. That's not where the subject usually can be. Can it be there? Sure it can. I've taken lots of pictures where the subject's smack dab in the middle, but there's got to be some sort of a balance. And in art, we talk about positive and negative space. And the picture here on the top, you can see, well, there's this really great tower by the Grand Canyon, but it's kind of hard to tell it's by the Grand Canyon. I know the red thumb going down is kind of in the way, but you really can't see much of what's going on. Well, imagine if we put a hashtag or a tic-tac-toe board over the picture, over your screen. When you're taking it, you don't want to keep it in the middle, you want to move it over a little bit. And that makes it so much nicer. So now when you look at that picture on the bottom, hey, here's this big tower, but oh, hey, over there, I can see this really cool expanse of the Grand Canyon. Maybe the subject's a little smaller, but in the end, it makes a better picture. So how do we do this? Well, let me show you. So here we are at my birdhouse. Okay, not very interesting, is it? Smack dab in the middle, not good. So all I'm doing, I'm gonna move it over, and now it's much more engaging. I can move in, oh wow, let's see, one of those other tips and tricks, yeah. Can maybe even adjust that angle a little, there we go. And isn't that a nicer picture? Bam, there it is. The next one is know that flash's range. We talked about it a second ago, and depending on your camera, now if you're using a real camera, you don't have to use just your cell phone, but that's just what we're gonna be using for this video series. And if you've got the digital camera, use it, it's great. But know the distance of your flash. With a cell phone, it's not a very big flash. It's just a little light in there, isn't it? Yeah, it's not very big. So you got about 5 feet, that's it, okay? And so if you're 5 feet tall, that's all the distance you got away as well. So don't expect to get from across a room. It's not gonna happen. So this can help brighten up your subject, but don't get too close with the flash. The one on the right, I just got in a new digital camera a long time ago, and I'm like, hey, kiddo, come here. And I took a picture of her, not realizing how bright the flash was on that digital camera, and I kind of blew her away. A little bit of a supernova is what I call that in the classroom, and yeah, you can barely see the outline of that nose in there. But aren't her eyes, she has beautiful blue eyes, but they are really glowing in that shot. Take some vertical shots. A lot of times when you're holding a camera, you're holding it like this, and we always take horizontal pictures. And sometimes we do get in the nature of holding it vertically, but take them both directions. Look at your subject. If your subject's a tall thing like the Eiffel Tower, turn it this way. That doesn't mean it wouldn't be cool to have it this way as well, turning it sideways. But try both. You're there. How much time does it take to go from here to here? Here to here. You're not going to get carpal tunnel syndrome. You're not going to overuse the joint in your wrist. You'll do fine. Try it. And it's not like you're wasting one of your precious shots on film cameras. We can take thousands and thousands of pictures on here and delete them if we don't like them. The next one is be a picture director. Sometimes pictures just don't happen. Sometimes we need to guide our subjects along a little bit. So take control. In this case, I was hiking with my daughters when they were little. And I'm like, hey, that's a cool log. And there's some really cool mountains behind them. I'm like, hey girls, all I had to do is, hey, go sit on that log. Oh, hey, can I add some props? Hey, put your hats on and put your sunglasses on. Okay. And then I just said, hey, look at the camera. 3 steps, that's probably more than you might need. It may be just as simple as, if you're with somebody and you're out of place, and maybe just, take off the sunglasses and look here. Or maybe you want them to do something fun with their arms. It doesn't have to be a lot. Now, FYI, be aware of your location. Your perfect shot should not interfere with other people around you. Karens. So be careful. At this place, there wasn't very many people around us. I wasn't screaming. I was just saying, hey girls, go do this. We were off the beaten path, just a touch. We were just right on the edge, so we weren't blocking anybody. I didn't interfere with anybody's day. So be careful when you're thinking about directing a picture. That's it. That's all there is to taking really good pictures. Well, there's some more steps, and those are going to be in videos to come. I'm going to be posting one a week for you guys every Wednesday. I think Wednesday might be a good day. Mondays are crazy and busy getting the week going. Fridays we're ready to, pass out and ready to have the weekend. Wednesday, I'm thinking that might be a good day for us to just kind of sit back, chill, and try some new pictures. So I hope you've enjoyed our video today. I got more to come, so you might want to subscribe. Thanks. See you next time.